It's the year 1950 in Pittsburgh. We're introduced to a man named Troy, who works as a garbage collector alongside his close friend. Life seems fairly steady for him. At home, he lives with his wife and their young son, Corey. One day, after wrapping up work, Troy heads home with his friend and learns that Corey just got a part-time job at a nearby store. He's delighted at first, but that happiness quickly fades when his wife also tells him that Corey has been selected for his school's football team. Troy immediately gets upset. He argues that playing football has no future, especially for black boys like Corey, as the system doesn't allow them to succeed in sports. His wife tries to explain that times have changed and opportunities have opened up, but Troy doesn't believe her. He refuses to sign the permission form for Corey's football team, saying he doesn't want his son wasting time chasing dreams that won't come true. Troy shares how he himself used to be a promising baseball player, but never got a real chance because of the color of his skin. His wife, however, tells him that his fear and bitterness shouldn't be passed down to their son. She insists Corey only wants to play for his school team, not to turn it into a career, and that today's world is different. Black athletes are excelling, and the government supports them now. But Troy simply can't accept that the world has changed. Just as the argument heats up, Troy's older son from a previous marriage arrives. His first wife had passed away, and now he lives with his second wife and their son. Troy doesn't seem happy to see his older son, because every time he visits, it's to ask for money. As expected, the son requests financial help, but Troy refuses, telling him he should be earning on his own. The son says his wife is working and that he's actively looking for a job. He promises to return every cent once he starts earning. Still, Troy insists he should just work in garbage collection like he does. It pays decently, but the son disagrees. He wants to earn money, but not that way. Troy calls him lazy and says he's obsessed with music, and that's the only thing he truly cares about. He even blames the boy's mother for raising him poorly, which sparks deep anger in his son. The young man stands up for his mom, saying she raised him the right way, and questions where Troy was when they needed him the most. He says Troy has no right to criticize either of them. Just then, Troy's wife steps in and quietly hands $10 to her stepson, the son from Troy's first marriage. He takes the money and leaves. The next morning, Troy wants to assign his younger son some work to help fix the fence in their yard. But he soon finds out that Corey has gone off to play in a football game. This infuriates him. He lashes out at his wife, saying she shouldn't be allowing Corey to waste his time on football. As their conversation continues, Troy notices someone outside. It's his younger brother, a former soldier. He had served in the army and fought in the war against Japan. During that war, he was shot in the head. Though he survived, his mind was never the same again. Now, he roams the streets singing songs. Troy's wife gently approaches his brother and invites him inside, telling him they've cooked a meal for him. She goes inside to bring the food, while Troy quietly enters the house. Troy tells her that his brother has already wandered off again. His wife then brings up something heavy on her heart. She says they should consider admitting him into a nursing home. He's not been eating properly and clearly needs more care than they can give. But Troy is burdened by guilt. He confesses that after the war, his brother received $3,000 in compensation. Troy had used that money to buy their home. He admits that if his brother had been mentally sound, he would have been living here now, in his own house. Deep down, Troy wishes his brother could stay with them, but given his condition, it's not possible. His wife gently reassures him, saying he did the right thing with that money. Even if his brother still had those funds today, he wouldn't have been able to use them for himself. With that, she quietly walks out of the house. Soon after, Troy's son returns home after football practice. Troy tells him he needs help putting up the fence. They both begin working on it together. While they're at it, his son asks him to sign the permission form for the football team. But Troy clearly refuses and says he should focus on the job he got instead. The son then admits he quit that job, which makes Troy furious. He tries to reason with his son, but the boy doesn't listen and storms off. Later that day, Troy is called in by the commissioner. When he arrives, the commissioner informs him that from now on, he will be driving the garbage truck himself, the same one he used to load trash into. This was a historic moment because it was the first time a black man was ever given a driver's position in the sanitation department. Before this, only white men were allowed to drive those trucks. Overjoyed, Troy comes home and tells his wife he's now the city's first black truck driver. His friend is there too, and shortly after, his older son arrives. The son tries to return some money Troy had lent him earlier, but Troy refuses. His wife, however, accepts it. Then Troy's younger brother shows up there, Troy urging him to live with them instead of staying at someone else's place, which is financially burdening him due to rent. But Troy's wife firmly says not to bring this up again, hurting his brother's feelings. She also tells Troy he should really sign their son's football form, but he refuses and leaves the room. Outside, Troy opens up to his wife and older son. He tells them how, when he was 14, his father used to abuse him severely. That's when he ran away and came to the city. To survive, he turned to theft. One day, during a robbery, a white man pointed a gun at him, and in defense, Troy stabbed him. He was charged with murder and sentenced to 14 years. It was in prison that he learned to play baseball. He confesses that he doesn't want his sons to go down the same path. Just then, his younger son returns from practice, visibly angry because Troy still hasn't signed the football form. Suddenly, they get a call from the police saying his younger brother has been arrested for causing public disturbances. Troy and his friend go to court. When they return, the son helps Troy with the fence. Troy's friend quietly signals him, and Troy sends his son inside. Then the friend tells him how good a woman Rose is, how she's always stood by him, and warns him not to betray her. He also mentions the girl Troy met at the bar and the affair he's been having. Though Troy always denied it to Rose, he finally admits the truth to his friend. But things have gone too far now. The woman is pregnant. Rose finds out and confronts Troy, reminding him how loyal she's been and how deeply he's betrayed her. The argument turns heated. In a moment of anger, Troy grabs Rose's hand tightly, hurting her. Their son rushes in and shoves Troy away, telling him not to hurt his mom. And just like that, a crack begins to form in their family. Troy now spends less and less time at home. Most days, he stays out, barely returning. Meanwhile, his younger brother is sent to a care home by court orders, where he is looked after. One night, Troy's wife brings heartbreaking news. The woman Troy had an affair with, the one who was carrying his child, dies during childbirth. She gives birth to a baby girl, Troy's daughter. Troy goes to the hospital and brings the infant home. Holding the baby in his arms, he tells his wife that the child is innocent. She has no part in the fights and mistakes of the adults. At first, Rose refuses to accept the child, but she is a kind-hearted woman, and her maternal instincts take over. She agrees to raise the baby as her own daughter, but she makes one thing clear: Troy is no longer a part of her life. She will care for the child, but she cannot forgive the betrayal. Time goes on. Troy's younger son gives up football entirely and joins the army. When he returns home for a visit, Troy stops him at the gate. He challenges his son to a fight and even raises his hand. In anger, the son grabs a baseball bat to defend himself. Troy pushes back, pressing the bat against his son's neck. A violent clash erupts between them, and the son walks away, wounded and furious. That night, drunk and consumed by rage, Troy screams into the darkness, daring death itself to face him. But in truth, his actions have already shattered his family. Even his closest friend has drifted away, unable to watch Troy spiral deeper into destruction. 6 years pass. Troy is gone. His younger son, now a Marine, receives leave to attend the funeral. It's his first time home in all those years, but he refuses to go to the funeral. His mother becomes upset and tells him, "I know your father had many flaws, but he always tried to do his best for you. You should honor him." Her words make him stop and think, and he realizes she's right. For the first time in 6 years, he meets his little stepsister. His older brother also comes back home, released temporarily from prison, where he had been held for fraud. Even Troy's younger brother is discharged from the care home and arrives holding a trumpet. He says he wants to play it so St. Peter will open the gates of heaven for Troy. He tries twice but can't play it right. On the third try, the sound comes out beautifully. At that very moment, the sun breaks through the clouds, and its light falls gently on the entire family. Troy's journey is marked by struggle, buried emotions, and choices that left lasting scars. But within that pain lies a powerful lesson about love, responsibility, and the cost of pride. His story reminds us that even the strongest souls can break, and yet, through brokenness, something honest and human still remains. What did you take away from Troy's life? Did it remind you of someone, or maybe a moment in your own story? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share them with us in the comments below. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more soul-stirring tales like this. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care and hold your loved ones close.